It's time to hear the annual budget statement. For the last time under Sir Donald's administration, the Financial Secretary Zhuang Zhang delivered the last annual budget statement to the Legislative Council on February the 1st. In his valedictory budget statement, Zhuang Zhang predicts that Hong Kong's economic growth this year will be around 1% to 3%, with the estimated inflation standing at about 3.5%. Despite Zhuang Zhang will be leaving office in 5 months' time, he still pledges to increase government spending by 7% to 393.7 billion Hong Kong dollars in the next financial year. On economy, Zhuang Zhang pledges to spend $100 billion in enhancing the small and medium enterprise financing guarantee scheme, to waive business registration fees, to halve the charges for import and export declarations, as well as to abolish capital duty levied on local companies. On employment, the government will earmark $220 million to support the Construction Industry Council in enhancing manpower training to bring fresh blood into the industry to meet the demand created by future infrastructure developments. $100 million will be injected into the enhancing employment of people with disabilities through small enterprises project, and $175 million will be spent on youth and middle-aged people employment programs. To boost the land supply, 47 residential sites across the territory will be added to the land application list for sale, providing some 13,500 units in the years to come. The government also pledges to increase the supply of business sites by introducing measures including energizing Kowloon East, revitalizing industrial buildings, and relocating government departments from core business districts. 75,000 public rental housing flats will be built in the next 5 years, aiming to reduce the average waiting time at around 3 years. 6 sites in Sha Tin, Tsuen Wan, Kwai Tsing, and Yuen Long have been initially identified for the first batch of developments under the new home ownership scheme. The government will also speed up redevelopment in the urban area by inviting the Urban Renewal Authority to launch redevelopment programs of industrial buildings in the form of a pilot scheme. On education, the government will earmark $1 billion to implement a new program modeled on Project Springboard under the new high school curriculum. $2.5 billion will be allocated for launching the 6th matching grant scheme, which will cover all statutory and post-secondary institutions. $2 billion will be injected into the government's scholarship fund and self-financing post-secondary education fund to establish more scholarships or award schemes. $5 billion will be allocated to Research Endowment Fund to enhance the academic and research development of tertiary institutions. On medical and social welfare, $2.2 billion will be spent for clinic and hospital projects, including the expansion of United Christian Hospital, redevelopment of Yan Chai Hospital, Kwong Wah Hospital, and Queen Mary Hospital. $900 million will be allocated for improving physical settings and facilities of elderly community centers, neighborhood elderly centers, and social centers for the elderly across the territory. 1 extra month payout will be given to CSSA recipients, OH allowance and disability allowance recipients. Those living in public housing will not have to pay rent for 2 months. $1,800 of power subsidies will be given to each residential electricity account, benefiting 2.5 million households. Property owners will be better off as well. The government will waive rates for 2012 and 2013, subject to a ceiling of $2,500 per quarter for each rateable property. Basic tax allowance will be increased to $120,000 and $240,000 for married couples. Student loans borrowers who completed their courses in 2012 will be allowed to repay their debt 1 year after the completion of their courses. To ensure the economy will continue to prosper after Zhuang Zhang's departure, he pledges to promote the development of the retail bond market. A further issuance of I-bond worth not more than $10 billion will be launched. $150 million will be allocated to the Mega Events Fund and extend its operation for 5 years. $400 billion will be spent on infrastructure in the next few years. Projects include the high-speed rail to China, the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, the Central Wan Chai Bypass, railway construction works for the South Hong Kong Line and Hong Kong Line extension, the Sha-Tin to Central Rail Link, as well as the proposal of building the third runway for the Chat Lap Kok Airport, subject to the approval of the Legislative Council and perhaps the environmental activists. No one knows whether these measures will trigger social discontent, but people of Hong Kong would rather concerned whether Zhuang Zheng will offer concession again by offering direct cash handouts this time. Eric Low, INT.